But the first question that they had is a dog. That's okay.
Okay. Mommy, can you get her? Thank you.
Hi, my name is Giselle Fonseca. I am an economics major and I lived in Myers Hall.
My name is Niyah Williams. I'm a mathematics major and I lived in Myers Hall. We went to the same high school, but we weren't really like friends. We were just kind of like acquaintances. Well, we went to the new dogs program that they have in the spring together. And then after that, we were like, oh, we kind of get along. Let's room together. Over the summer, we like met at Chick-fil-A to kind of just have that type of conversation. We kind of just talked about our living habits just to kind of get an understanding of what one another would live like. And I think that's kind of, Giselle, did we do anything else really?
No, I honestly, I think it was just the Chick-fil-A meeting.
Yeah, I think, we just kind of I was saying I'm not really messy, but not super clean. And then Giselle was like, well, I'm messy. And so we were just kind of oh, I guess we'll make this work somehow.
For me, I think it's just the fact that Niyah came off as very respectful. She just understood boundaries, and it's just whenever, because we made a little roommate contract thing at Chick-fil-A, and we only had 3 things on it, but I just felt it was just very easy to kind of compromise with her, and it's just it was very obvious that she was going to be very respectful of my personal space and stuff like that, and none of her demands were going to be outrageous. So yeah. I feel to me that's kind of just oh, she's just very respectful.
I'd say I probably kind of got used to it around the first month or so, because it's it kind of just took me a while to think oh, okay, I need to be respectful here. And just always being conscious that there's another person in the room. That was probably the hardest part about it. But after a month or so, you just I kind of got used to it.
I have to be honest with you, I don't think it has still hit me. I know the semester is over or whatever, but I just I don't know, it just, from the moment I got there, I don't know why it just felt so normal, but it just did. It was really nice though, living with someone, because I feel I'm just such a talkative person, and I feel sometimes I can have a lot of energy, and it's just whenever I want to talk to someone, Niyah's there, you know what I mean? I think we both have the same one.
What is it?
Soulmate.
Oh, yes! Yes! Yeah, okay, we both had the same one. That was an ongoing joke between us, but I think it started with a weird joke that Giselle, well, it wasn't really a joke. Giselle just kept saying, she just liked to say things that would make me uncomfortable on purpose. She would be when my roommate is literally my soulmate. And then I guess as our friendship just kind of every time that we kind of have a good friendship moment, she'd kind of say that and I'd be oh. But then as time went on, I just started just saying it too. And then, it just became a thing. So we didn't get into any living space arguments. We got into one disagreement, and it was this one day that I didn't really want to talk to anybody, but then Giselle came over there talking about taxes, and we're not politically the same.
And it's so funny because that's been our only argument. And I remember afterwards I was oh my gosh, we just had an argument, because I think this happened to well into the school year, and I was we just got into an argument. I was telling everyone about it, and I was because it was a funny argument. I was me and I just got into our first argument, and guess what it was about? Taxes. And it was so funny.
So with cleaning, we didn't really establish anything. If the room was just getting really messy, sometimes I'd be we should clean this, and then we would, or sometimes a lot of times when Giselle would go home, I just once a week I'd kind of just clean the room, and that would just be it. And I guess kind of with snacks, there were some things that obviously we bought for ourselves, but if there was something that we both ate, we had this little bank of Niyah and Giselle where we just kind of each took a 20 out, and then so we just used that money to buy snacks or just things that we mutually use.
We went to one of those little food Taste of the City events, that's what it's called, or something like that. And then we were just so excited, we waited in this long line, and it started raining, and I just thought it was so funny because all the food got wet. sporting event, and there was like a dude on stage that kept singing about his ex-girlfriend, and it was just so funny in my opinion. And like it was just like a disaster of like an event. Like it was just like it was supposed to be a horrible experience, but like Niyah being there just made it like so much better for whatever reason. And like like why it's my favorite.
That is hilarious.
I feel like a big one is just being like respectful of your roommate. Like I feel like that's the best piece of advice that I can like give anyone. And also like try to find someone that you can kind of empathize with, because I know like first semester like Niyah and I like we're experiencing a lot of like the same things at UGA, or like a lot of the same problems, and I feel like because we were able to empathize with each other, like it just made the roommate relationship just so much better.
I guess when you're finding your roommate, just make sure that you like communicate with them, like kind of like get a feel for their living habits, and then like just make sure that you're always open to communication, just like throughout the whole process, and you should be fine if you're communicating effectively.